good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. First and foremost, before I say anything, General Petraeus, it's an honor to be seated at the table with you and Mrs. Petraeus. You are the General Patton of my generation. I wish you were in the administration. I love you. I have the utmost respect for you. Can we just give him a hand of applause right now? Thank you. Thank you. Everyone else in here, thank you so much for coming out tonight. To all the veterans in here, you are the absolute heroes of my life. For those of you who are familiar, obviously I am the daughter, granddaughter, great-granddaughter, sister, sister-in-law, all veterans. I have the luxury and honor of being surrounded by veterans in my life. And I can't thank everyone enough for their sacrifice. I get up in the morning and get my hair and makeup done and go talk on television only for the reason that there are the men and women out there fighting for our freedom every single day. And tonight, celebrating that is so deeply important to me, and I know to everyone else in this room. So I just want to start off by saying that, IAVA is so important to me. Paul Rieckhoff is someone I message and email and text often. I work in the media, and I think, unfortunately, we're living in a time when people who host shows and run for office and are serving in office don't have enough connections or understanding of the men and women who serve. And I think it's so deeply important that we have organizations like IAVA that are trying to stop the politicizing of our veterans, that are showcasing the real truth, showing the 100% multi-dimensionality of the men and women who serve, and then their life when they return back into civilian life. And I'm so proud of IAVA for everything that they do. There's something about living in New York City, because obviously in New York City, it's not the same thing as growing up in Arizona, being surrounded by so many military families. There's something about IAVA, specifically in New York City, that makes me feel so much more comfortable and so much more relieved that we have people like Paul living in New York City to spread the gospel on the truth of exactly what the sacrifices the men and women in the military go through, are currently going through. I didn't know that statistic about 300% of women who serve in the military don't feel like their service is respected. That is atrocious. That's embarrassing for us as Americans, and we have to do better, hands down. For those of you that probably already know, my father is fighting cancer at this moment. I'm sorry he can't be here tonight. And obviously, he being a veteran and my brother being a veteran, it is such a deeply personal cause. And when I talk about cancer, the only way that I can talk about it is also talking about my brother deploying, because it's the only emotional, intense moment in my life that I can compare to being more scary than finding out that my father had brain cancer was the moment that I knew my brother was deploying to Iraq and the day that I watched him deploy from Camp Pendleton. I know it's not the same thing as actually being sort of a wife or someone who deploys, but on some level I understand the fear and intensity of what it's like to be a family member or a loved one, knowing the sacrifice that they make every single day. I wish we did better as Americans. I wish we did better in the media, which is why IAVA is so intensely important. I love being in a room with a giant American flag, by the way. That also doesn't happen enough in this country, and I salute it no matter what. This is a celebration tonight. I just want to thank you all for being here. It is my absolute privilege and honor to be here among all of you who support our veterans, who are veterans. This is a celebration of America. This is a celebration of our heroes. So I hope everyone drinks up and has an amazing time tonight, and we continue this celebration. And please get out your checkbooks, because I so support IAVA. I think it is so important, especially at this specific moment in time when our Gold Star families are being politicized. And I think that we just have to continue giving people like Paul Rieckhoff and all our veterans support. My last final comment, I was raised, when you see a veteran in an airport or at a restaurant or at a bar, go up to them and say thank you for your service. I personally always buy them around, and I think tonight we should start out by having a round right now. Thank you.